We're going to be speaking about how top brands turn customer insight into competitive advantage. I'm going to get you to introduce yourselves going down the line. So start with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Laura. So I work for a company called Drinkwell. We specialise in alcohol that's better for you. So it's not no and low, it is still full strength, but just much fewer calories. So all our wines are completely sugar free and all our beers are low carb.
Another Laura, work for the Fine Bedding Company, marketing director, where we sell a really great night's sleep.
I'm Heidi. So I work for No Nutrition. We are a vitamins and supplements company that specialise in gummies.
Amazing. So for all intents and purposes, say you are Laura C and you are Laura K. Okay, Laura C. Drinkwell seeing some impressive year-on-year growth. How has customer feedback and behaviour directly influenced your marketing strategy?
Yeah, so we kind of started going down a route of not just doing sugar-free wines, but looking for like disease-resistant grapes and all these wonderful things. But actually, when we started looking into the data of what our customers were buying, they were just buying like a cheaper Pinot Grigio. So we really stripped back and just went for simple swaps. So we're refining our portfolio to just, we've got to sell our proposition and people don't necessarily fully understand it. So we're really drawing back, listening to the customer on, okay, what are they actually buying? And we use a tool called Retention X, and it is a really great tool for optimization for, okay, what are customers buying, but also which products are bringing people back, and also which products are also providing the highest AOV. So yeah, we've then now got the site set up so the products are funneled into that kind of order, so that we're driving new customers to the products that we know get that highest retention rate as well. Yeah.
Amazing. And over to Heidi. So you guys operate in a highly competitive space. I think it's really in at the moment, isn't it? How do you use customer insights to drive always struggle with this word, differentiation, and loyalty?
Yeah, so I think it's constantly getting bigger and it's bigger now more than ever. I think customer insights, specifically customer feedback, is always super important. I think people really underestimate the power in it. And I think it will always play that wider part in e-com in general. So for us, for example, towards the start of the year, we were looking at relaunching our subscription platform. We've always worked on a subscription platform basis anyway, a long time on-time purchases, but it's something that we knew that we wanted to relaunch and able to scale. So we really relaunched it around making sure that we gathered that customer feedback and we used that first and foremost. The whole point of it is obviously to play into that retention piece, and to do that we need to make sure that it's aligned in with the customer needs. So making sure that we gathered all that info allowed us to relaunch it and it to be really successful. And then in terms, I guess, of being different, a huge focus for us is just trust as a brand. So having that two-way conversation with customers and making sure that we're educating them and that we have that conversation, we're informing them, about the ingredients behind our products and what that does and why we put it in and things like that is always super important as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it can be quite daunting and scary to gather feedback sometimes, but it can be so helpful. I just thought bite the bullet. Laura K. So the home space has been pretty flat recently, but you've grown 12%, which is amazing. What does your customer insight process look like and how has it driven that growth?
Yes, so I'd love to say we have set processes, but we're an SME. We don't. It's more of a practice that we all incorporate into whatever project we're doing. Consumer insight is the foundation of any brand. We've heard it on every single panel already today. And the beauty of digital is it's so easily accessible and doesn't cost a fortune anymore. I used to work in corporate and had many tens of thousands of pounds worth of budget to do qual groups and quant studies. And actually what you find is you get more real insight in the digital world through your online surveys, pop-ups, your reviews, incredibly important, where people are really saying what they feel versus in a fake scenario. They don't always say what they mean. So such rich insight that can inform brand. And I believe that is one of the reasons why D2C brands have been so successful over the last few years, because they're so close to the consumer. You haven't got a big Tesco in the way or a John Lewis in the way of your own data and your own consumer. So the main ones we will use is our Trustpilot, and we use, we talked about AI before. That's been a real help there to just basically crawl it and summarize it for you really, really quickly. So it can be kind of done at pace and it can be done regularly. Surveys on your own website. There's so many apps out there that are really cost effective. Emailing your own database to hear from your own customers on a regular basis. They're always willing, when they love a brand, they're always willing to share their findings, what they enjoy for a bit of free product. People will do a lot of things. And then if you want a slightly more national nat rep view of things, the YouGov surveys, you can put questions into that very cost effectively, and get a slightly more unbiased view of things. So we use a number of different elements. It informs our marketing messages, it informs our product development, it informs how our website looks. It's absolutely critical to every part of the process when you're building a brand.
It's amazing how much help and feedback you get when you bribe someone.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the smallest of things gets the most attention, and then often gets promoted on other sites as well. And a few freebies. It doesn't cost us anything really, cost price, and you can get some really insightful information.
Amazing. So Laura C, I mean, Heidi briefly touched on subscriptions, but you've doubled your subscription revenue. So many great stats coming out today, by the way. What did you learn about your customers that helped optimize this part of the business?
Yeah, so about a third of our business is subscription revenue. Obviously, a lot of alcohol brands, especially in the wine space, they are only subscription models. So we obviously have the pleasure of people can do a one-time purchase or subscribe for any length of time. And we kind of doubled down on, okay, we looked at people that subscribe in for just 7 days are often the ones that are cancelling the quickest, probably just subscribing to get a 10% additional discount. So what we did is that's still available in the back end, but we took that off as an option, and that's like massively helped getting people to that second subscription order by shortening that window. We also switched platforms. So we were on Recharge and switched over to Skio, and I think just having that more flexible option where they can do everything like really easily in app was great. And I know Klaviyo is partner, and they have launched this really recently. So we are actually probably going to switch. But we've been using Brello at the moment, and that's been amazing for us. And that basically plugs into Klaviyo, but it gives the customer basically an email when they're ready for that email, or when the algorithm thinks they're ready for that second purchase. And a part of that, we have a subscription flow. So it basically takes product and consumer data and says, okay, this person looks like they're ready to subscribe. So instead of like forcing them down the subscription journey, we're trying to do it as organically as possible.
That's amazing. Keep them there once you get them there. Heidi, what tools or strategies have helped you optimize your website for CRO based on real customer behaviour?
So we as a business use Content Square or Hotjar, and it's been crucial. We recently kind of built the site to make it very like mobile friendly. That's where the majority of our traffic comes from. So we use that and like throughout the whole process. I think the main thing with using platforms like that is making sure that every decision is made based on data and it's not just guesswork. I think it also instills a lot more confidence in you changing it, knowing that it's already been A/B tested, it's based off real customer behavior, and it gives you a bit of confidence implementing it. So we use them. It can be from changes to like the whole homepage or like a site rebuild that we did, or it can just be like the smallest things from like PDP changes or like reordering a nav. But we're always reviewing like where the like pain points are for our customers, where are we losing them throughout that customer journey, and it all plays into that wider conversion piece. So platforms like that are really key for us.
Yeah, these mapping tools are so important. We use them all the time as well. So Laura, as a B Corp, well, the fine bedding company or B Corp, so that's amazing. How do you connect sustainability with your customers in your messaging?
Yes, so this has been a learning journey on how to get that right. Absolutely not. Cracked it. But the primary thing is it's never the main benefit to the consumer. The main benefit is sleep. Yeah, how it's going to help you sleep. We've launched products before which lead with that sustainability message because they're incredible products in the way that they're made, but they don't land with the consumer. So you've always got to remember that hierarchy of messaging. And then it's simplifying it. It's a complex game of tailoring the information to the audience. So to a B2B audience, when we're talking to a buyer, we need to go quite deep on that, on the sustainability. We're in textiles, so there's a lot down the supply chain in terms of how the fabrics are made. But to a consumer, they want it really easy and quick. We have a very short time with that consumer in that funnel. So we've got to keep it short and snappy and land it at the right place at the right time. We've been developing a new type of memory foam, which is biomass balance sourced foam. So it's which again is very complicated in terms of how it's done. Incredible product, but really the translation to the consumer is carbon. We talk about it having a lower carbon footprint, rather than going into the detail of every other element of the product. So keeping it really simple, talking in their language, and in the right place at the right time, often a bit further into that research phase as well, because really you're kind of hooking them in from a sleep perspective. And then the third party accreditations as well, like B Corp, like GRS, there's the BCI, there's lots of them. They're really, really important as well from a trust point of view. There's lots in the news around greenwashing and a lot of companies get pulled up for it. So making sure you're being as transparent as possible, but also, quickly and easily showing them that it is trustworthy information, and third-party accreditations can do a great job at that. So I would highly recommend B Corp as an initiative to anyone in the room looking at it, even if you just use the framework as a way to assess how you're building your business or how you and the practices that you have within your business. It's an incredible framework to use, one of the best out there.
Definitely. I think them badges can go a long way, so it's instantly recognisable on the side.
Yeah, it's growing in awareness. That's been their main challenge is awareness of what it means to a consumer, but I think they're around 30% now, 40%, something like that, in terms of awareness. So it's getting there, which is really good.
It's a great achievement. So well, all of you guys actually have quite educational products. Like there's lots of technology to it, like you're saying about the foam. But Laura Stiggs, how do you balance education with conversion, especially when you're challenging common perceptions about alcohol and wellness?
Yes, obviously, constantly in battles with ASA on, I can't say the product is only a certain amount of calories and I can't talk about sugar-free and things like that. So you have to do really clever marketing ways, but we always just focus on that funnel. So if they're really top of funnel, we just try and educate the consumer on how much sugar actually is in most of the wines that they drink, because it's not required by law to have a nutritional table on alcohol. So no one turns a bottle of wine around to see what's in it. So we do a lot of educational up there. And then as we go through the funnel, then, okay, we can hone in next on reviews. That's so important to us, because people say, okay, if it's sugar-free, how's it going to taste? And I think we've said it before, but it's all about, in food and drink, no compromises. So we're literally saying you're making zero compromise by choosing us. So yeah, it's really driving home that quality. And then our actual customer base, our loyal customer base, we do things like newspapers and stuff just to actually really educate them again, because they love the content of, okay, this is how much sugar's in this, or this is how you can better yourself by choosing our products.
Amazing. Yeah, the ASA can be hard to get around.
Yeah.
Heidi, what role does content play in helping customers make informed choices in a space where trust is everything?
Yeah, so trust really is everything, especially in the VMS sector. I think for us, with Known still being a fairly new brand, ultimately new customer acquisition is front and foremost for us at the minute. So platforms like Meta have been really key for us with that. And I think the main thing with campaigns and things like that are making sure that the products that we're pushing, we're not just pushing a product, we're pushing a solution. It's similar to what's been said before, but I say it all the time, people don't buy a product, they buy into a solution for a problem. So it's linking that product to a solution and then making sure that it's targeted correctly. So not just pushing it out to anyone and everyone. And I think that can be quite a difficult thing to manage, especially in like the VMS sector. We have so many different vitamins and supplements which cater to so many different people. So it's really narrowing down that product and connecting it to a person or a target audience that we have like a specific vision in mind with who that's going to. And so I'd say that's really key.
For sure, yeah. Laura Kay, just to finish off this amazing panel, what have you learned about the difference between D2C customers and traditional retail buyers in terms of their motivations or behaviours?
Yeah, we know that consumers will spend more money online. Certainly in our category, it's more, they're spending more time researching. They probably have bigger sleep problems that they're looking to fix, and they spend more money, which is brilliant. So it's the perfect place to be providing that education, giving them all the information that they might want, and landing right messages in the right place. So yeah, online is a much more engaged and thoughtful process, but you get more revenue in the end. And then in store, it's really quick. We've got to get the message across in a really short space of time. You're working with stores, it's much harder. And you've got the touch and feel of bedding as well. It's a very emotive purchase. It's all about comfort, and our core USPs are in how it feels. So that's sort of the downside of online, and that's where social proof becomes really important. I think that's probably true for most brands, but other people talking about how it feels versus in store, where you can have that kind of point of sale, really effective point of sale, but you've got less messaging and it's often a little bit more impulsive. So yeah, totally different approaches in terms of how we land the brand and sell the product within those two environments, but both have their benefits. Online, I mean, the world of sleep and the sleep category as a whole has seen huge growth as people realise how important it is to their health, physical, mental. So it's fantastic to be able to see so much more content, so much more expertise in that area, and the brands that are doing it well and are doing it properly are getting that coverage and are getting that content out there, and we're able to kind of like push that funnel and find them the perfect bedding for them, which is great.
Definitely. I think like you've all spoke about educating the customers so important, and collecting that feedback, and the brands that are listening to their customers are the ones getting these amazing results. So I think
It's like Terry's one band. I think we recently launched a WhatsApp group, and we have some of our best customers in there, some customers that have never purchased, and even some of our best customers are saying, so all the wine's actually sugar-free. So we're still constantly educating, but yeah, WhatsApp group's a great way to get customer feedback straight away.
yeah, building communities is so important. There's so much stuff going around WhatsApp at the moment, and I'm part of so many WhatsApp groups. It's my new hobby. But thank you so much. It was lovely to have you all.
Yeah.